Welcome back, everyone. I probably sound weird today. My allergies decided to really kick my ass today, but I did want to try to finish our Day Zero Dark Tournament deck builds, and this is our last one, the end of the road, Byakko, one of the four Saint Beasts from the first set of Yu Yu Hakusho in Universus. So please bear with me, as I probably don't sound my best, and I might be talking slow, just to prevent myself from coughing or sneezing in your guys' ears. So, we're going to start off with Byakko. He's a 5 hand size, 38 health character. He's got air, earth, and fire, and I chose earth for the symbol to choose for one card in particular, and that's one of the ones we'll show soon. But he has 3 enhances. The first is once per turn. If you have 30 or more cards in your discard pile, add 1 card from your discard pile to the top of your deck. So this is a great way to stack your deck with a good check to make sure that you can continue, maybe play another big attack. Or, since this is not once per turn your turn, you could also stack for a check to block an attack. Or if you have a way to draw a card, like an enhance to draw, you can stack an attack that you want to draw off the top of your deck. Then he has a second enhance, which is a cost of mill 3. You discard the top 3 cards of your deck. Your attack gets plus X damage. X equals the highest printed difficulty on a foundation in either stage. And we are going to be playing some very big foundations, so we're going to be easily getting 3+ damage on every attack. And then the final enhance is only playable on your attack. It is mill 3. Your rifle flips 1 foundation. So it's not targeted flip, but if you continuously mill every one of your attacks, you get to flip your opponent's entire stage, and that's pretty feels good. Moving on to his attacks, we have Risho's Meteor. This is the reason I wanted to build this deck off of Earth, because this is a 4/2, 4 high for 5, with a +2 low block, charge, and slam as its keywords. It says enhance, flip 1 rival foundation, period. So targeted flip, on top of Byakko's not targeted flip. Your rival's next check to play a card gets -2. X equals the difficulty of the flipped foundation. So usually, you're going to flip a 2 check, or a 2 difficulty, and your rival's check to block this attack, or any card that they play, will get -2. And then it also says enhance, if this attack is not blocked, your rival flips 2 foundations. So between Byakko, and if Risho's Meteor hits, you flip 4 foundations off of 1 card. That's pretty solid. It is a 2 check, and that is dangerous given we're playing a couple of high difficulty attacks, but I think it's well worth the risk because you could turn a good majority of your opponent's stage face down with just 1 single attack. Moving on, we have Flashfire Fist Hell Spider, a 4/3, 3 high for 6 with a +2 high block. It's got the Fury and ranged keywords. It says enhance, mill 2. Your attacks get +1 speed for this turn, and if you have cycled this game, your attacks get an additional +1 damage for the turn. Now, we are going to be milling ourselves a lot. Like I said, Byakko can mill 6 per attack. That's a lot. And just looking at these card totals right now for the deck total, I probably built this deck too light. Yeah, it's a 69 card deck. You probably want to build it closer to the 75 range just to guarantee you don't cycle too quickly. But if we do cycle, this will then be live much like Endeavor 2, where we would get 1 speed and 1 damage on all of our attacks for the rest of the turn. Speaking of Endeavor 3, that's the one I meant, we have Plus Ultra Prominence Burn, a 5/3, 4 low for 5 with a +2 high block. It has Fury, Powerful 3, and Punch. It says, response, after you discard cards from the top of your deck during this enhance step, your rival commits 1 foundation. You may play this response 3 times this enhance step. So, you're going to be milling twice with Byakko, so you can basically stun 2 with this attack. And then if you have any other way to mill as well, you can get that a 3rd time. It has a first enhance that says if you have cycled this game, double this attack's damage. So this would be a 4 low for 10 if you have cycled. And like I said, since we're going through our deck really quickly, cycling is likely. And then it has a deadlock enhance This turn, your attacks get +2 speed, and your rival cannot gain health. There is a little bit of health gain in Dark Tournament, so this Deadlock Enhance could be relevant because it gives speed on all your attacks while Byakko is giving damage. And if you're turning your rival's entire stage face down, they're going to have to build into Deadlock in order to be able to deal with your cards. So pushing them into that space makes cards like plus Ultra Prominence Burn really dangerous. Next up we have Titan Cliff, a 6/3, 5 high for 6 with a +2 low block. It has Fury and Slam, and powerful 3 but only for Mount Lady. It says Enhance, discard up to 3 cards, and draw 1 card for each card discarded. The discarded cards count as being reviewed. We don't care about reviewing, however, we do care about having a lot of cards in our discard pile, so being able to cycle 3 cards out of our hand on top of milling 6 with Byakko, that's 9 extra cards in our discard pile. That's pretty good. And then Enhance, you may build 1 card with a check value of 6 from your hand or discard pile. We are running some 6 checks, so the ability to discard 1 from our hand and then build it after drawing another card is really good. So we're really moving around our 6 checks. Then we have Calorie Counter, a 6/3, 3 mid for 6 with a +2 low block. It has Fury and Punch. It has a static that says if your last attack this turn was blocked, this attack gets -3 difficulty and +2 speed. So it becomes a 3 difficulty, 5 mid for 6, which is pretty solid stats. And considering we're going to be giving a lot of damage to all of our attacks, our rival's likely going to want to block them. So then throwing down a 5 speed move that is then going to get even more stats is always really good. And then it has an Enhance. If this attack is blocked, gain 2 health and flip 1 rival foundation. So targeted flip and gaining health. Pretty good, because our rival's going to want to block every attack we play, because, here's a hint, thanks to Massive Size, we're going to be putting 5 damage on everything. So all of these printed damages, add 5 to them, and that's likely what your rival is going to be staring down. And finally for our attacks we have Death Arm's Wallop, a 5/3, 5 low for 4 with a +2 high block. It's got Charge, Punch, and Powerful 2. It says Enhance. If this attack gets +1 speed for each momentum you have discarded this enhanced at. So basically it turns his Powerful 2 into a +2 damage, +1 speed for each momentum you discard, which is pretty good rate. And then Enhance, flip 1 committed rival foundation. So targeted flip, but only for committed foundations. But it's still helping out with that turning your rival's entire board face down. Really good. And that's the end of our attack lineup. It's only 20 attacks. Like I said, if I was going to go back and redo this kind of more competitively, I think I'd build a thicker deck with maybe 23, 24 attacks, and then maybe 52-ish foundations, and maybe some assets. Thicken it up so that with all of this mill, we are still not cycling within like 3 turns. Or maybe you could lean more into that with building a thicker deck, so that you could do kind of the Endeavor 1 and Endeavor 3 style things. Moving on to non-attack cards, we have an asset here, Takoyaki, a 1/6 with a +2 high block, is a 6 control, so we can build it in with Titan's Cliff. It says Enhance Destroy. This attack gets +2 or -2 damage, draw 1 card. So it's card draw on a 5-hander, which is really good, and it's either bonus damage or damage reduction. And as you're going to see, we want to keep our health high with some of the cards that we're playing. So, really solid. It also has a response here if you are Fat Gum, Amajiki, or Kirishima, which we are not. We are Byakko. So, now moving into foundations, we have Massive Size. I was so excited to see that we get this card back. I love it. It is a 5 difficulty foundation with 5 control and a +2 mid block. As a static, it says it gets -2 difficulty if you have more health than your rival. We start at 38. We start as the highest health character in Standard. I think there's only 3 characters, even in Retro, that have higher health than him, and they all have 40. So, yeah. Big boy. And then it says Enhance Commit. Your attack gets +X damage. X equals 10 minus your hand size. We're a 5-hander. So this is going to commit for 5 damage. and then we can mill 3 with Byakko to give another 5 damage. So we could put 10 damage on one move if we know that attack isn't going to be blocked. Something like a sped up calorie counter or a sped up death arms wallop is really going to help us push through. Next we have Thunderous Roar. Speaking of speed, this is a 3/5 with a +4 mid block. It says enhance commit. Your attack gets +1 speed for each of your rivals' face down foundations. We want to turn their entire board face down, so if we can give this 6, 7, 8 speed just by turning this sideways, we're going to guarantee that hit when we're adding 10 damage to something. And it also says then, if you have 30 or more cards in your discard pile, it gets an additional +1 speed for each of your rivals' face down foundations. So imagine we have something like a calorie counter, or better yet, a Risho's Meteor. We flip our rival's foundation, we mill 3 to have them flip a foundation, and they have 6 face-down foundations. We give -2 to their next checks, because we're gonna target a 2 check, or a 2 difficulty. Let's make it 7, a nice even 7. We're gonna give it, and we have a massive size on board, so we're gonna mill 3 to make this a 4 high for 10. We're gonna give their check -2. Then we're gonna commit this to make it a 4 high 15. And then since we have 30 cards in our discard pile, we'll give it 2 speed for each of those 7 foundations. So we'll make this an 18 high 15. That's a lot of stats. So Thunderous Roar, amazing in him. Also, if you're looking for speed against someone like Bui, who likes to build more face downs, or Overhaul, this is peak tech against those characters on these symbols. It makes your attacks practically unblockable. Next we have Toughest Punkin' Junior High, a 2/5 with a +3 mid block. Excuse me. It says response flip before you take damage from any attack, not even just unblocked. Before you take damage from an attack, reduce the damage you would take by 3, which maintains our very high health total and just makes us all the more harder to kill. So just all around good card. Next we have Fateful Meeting, a 2/5 with a +2 low block, and the unique keyword. It says, response remove, after you take damage from an unblocked attack, your rival loses 3 health, and this cannot reduce your rival below 1 health. So we could flip 1 or 2 toughest punks, take 2, 3 damage from an unblocked attack, and then burn our rival for 3. We start with 38 health. We're okay taking a shot to the chin every now and then. So to be able to burn our opponent back, kind of like a smack back for them dealing us damage, putting them in a worse situation is really cool. Speaking of DR, we have Heroic Endurance, a 2/5 with a +3 mid block. It says Enhanced Commit. This attack gets -2 damage. And then Enhanced Tenacious, so playable while committed. Remove this foundation. This attack gets -2 damage. So this is -4 damage on 1 card. Pretty solid. We have One Man Inferno, a 1/5 with a +3 low block that says Enhance, mill 1, your rival mills 1. So we both just pitched the top card of our deck. So this is another way to trigger the response on Prominence Ultra, or plus Ultra Prominence burn, and it helps get us to that 30 card minimum threshold in our discard pile. Then we have Dangerous Hybrid, another 5 diff foundation with 5 control and a +2 high block. It says when you try to play this card as a form, it gets -3 difficulty. So this becomes a 2 diff if you're trying to play it on your turn as a form. Then it has an Enhance Tenacious, discard 1 momentum. This attack gets +2 speed or -2 damage. So we're either stacking more speed on these attacks that are going to be really heavy hitters, or we're reducing more damage on our opponent's turn to make that 38 health, 45 health, 50 health. So they're really going to have to dig deep to kill Byakko. Then we have Ultra Regeneration, a 4/6 with a +2 low block, so again, something we can build in with Titan's Cliff. It says response, Tenacious, flip. After you take 5 or more damage from an attack, draw 2 cards and gain 2 health. So defensive draw, so we could draw more blocks, and we gain a little bit of that health back, so if we just took 5, we technically only took 3. And then Enhance, Tenacious, remove. If you have no ready foundations, add 1 card from your discard pile to your hand. So if you are all tapped out, they just stunned you down, you could pick up any attack you want from your discard pile and prepare for your counter attack. And that could be dangerous in and of its own right. Then we have number 10 Pro Hero, a 0-6 with a +1 high, another 6 check for Titan Cliff to load in. And we are running a lot of 6 checks because we're running a lot of high difficulty attacks. Titan Cliff, Calorie Counter, we have plus Ultra Prominence Burn, Death Arms Wallop. If we want to play 3, maybe even 4 attacks in a turn, if we can get the good draws, we want to have those good checks. And then we can also build them in for free with Titan's Cliff so we have more foundations to play. Next up we have Vast Strength, a 2-4 with a +3 mid-block. It says response, remove after an attack is played, it loses all non-keyword abilities. So it would keep, Stun, it would keep Echo, it would keep Breaker, it would keep Powerful, EX, but it would lose any other enhances or responses printed on it that are not keywords. So this could take away some very powerful abilities to help keep us safe, especially if we have to just tank a few shots to the face. It also has a Ryukyu form, but since we're not Ryukyu, we don't need to worry about that. Next up, Defending Pageant Queen, a 2-5 with a +3 high block. It says enhance remove, reduce this attack speed to 1. So guarantee that we're going to block this attack. Then we have Cooperation Offer, a 2-5 with a +3 mid block. It says enhance, flip, return this attack to its printed zone. This attack gets -3 speed. So again, making sure we can block the attack in question. And then it also says enhance commit if this attack was played from anywhere other than your hand, it gets 2 damage. We're not doing that, so we don't need to worry about that, but this is mainly for the speed hate that we're going to have. We have Quick to Act, a 0-5 with a +3 low block that says if we are at less than half our current health, if our current health is less than half of our maximum health, sorry guys, I've got allergy medicine coursing through me, trying to make sure that I'm even conscious to talk to you guys, so I'm a little stuffy and my reading is a little off. So if our current health is less than half of our maximum health, this attack gets 1 speed. So if we are having to take a few shots to the face, hopefully it gets us down to that 18 range. Yeah, 18 range, so that we're automatically adding speed to all of these attacks that we're going to be adding, 8 to 10 damage to. Then we have Snack Time, a 1-5 with a +3 high block. It says enhance, discard 1 card, your attack gets stun 1 and +1 speed. Again, we want 30 cards in our discard pile minimum. Snack Time pitching cards we don't need is good. Plus, it makes sure that we push these attacks to land. Giving stun 1 and 1 speed to a Risho's Meteor is really cool, because then you can also flip to hack their check to block and guarantee that you're going to flip 2 more foundations. And then it has a Deadlock Enhance, flip 1 foundation, draw 1 card. So if they go to Deadlock against us, our 5 hand size problems aren't much problems anymore. Speaking of draw, we have Chivalrous Competitor, a 1-5 with a +3 low block. It says enhance, flip, both players draw a card. Simple. And then response, before one of your foundations would be destroyed or flipped due to your rival's non-character effect, flip this foundation instead. Our rival is going to want to flip or destroy cards like our Massive Size, our Thunderous Roar, and our Dangerous Hybrid. So this being able to protect those cards is really, really solid. And this is probably the first time I would say that ability is more prominent than the draw. Because usually I only run this to be able to draw more cards, especially in a 5-hander. But to protect our huge foundations that we want to keep because we are Byakko, the defensive response on this kind of comes in more clutch than the flip to have us both draw a card. Then we have Internship with Best Genist, a 0-5 with a +3 mid-block. It has an Earth response, so we can only play this response if we are an Earth character, which we are. Discard the top card of your deck. After you play this card, your rival flips a foundation. This works if you're building it as a form, just playing it into your card pool, and it works if you play it as a block, because it doesn't say, after you play this attack or after you play this foundation, just after you play this card. So we can block with it and force a flip. We can play it just to build it out to force a flip, and it gets another card into our discard pile to get to that number 30. And finally, we have Learning the Standards, a 2-5 with a +3 mid-block. It says response, flip. After your rival builds an asset or foundation during the combat phase, flip it. Again, more face-down foundations. So if our rival's trying to build more cards during the combat phase, we can turn them face down. Or response remove, if we take damage from an unblocked attack, your rival must play a non-attack card as their next form or pass or end their combat phase completely. So with cards like Toughest Punk, Fateful Meeting, Ultra Regeneration, we're allowed to tank hits and then force our rival to either lose health with Fateful Meeting and maybe even have to break up their string with learning the standards. So Byakko can really just sit there and tank if absolutely need be, and then just turn around and wallop you with some incredibly dangerous attacks. Something worth noting, Byakko does not say non-throw, so you can give throw attacks, mill 3 for 5 damage because you have a massive size, and then turns massive size weight for another plus 5 damage. Excuse me. So, really strong. And yeah, like I said, that is a 69 card deck, a perfectly even block spread, which I think is amazing. But what do you guys think? What do you think of this Tiger guy? I think he's really good. I think you're going to see a lot of people put some time into Byakko because turning all of your opponent's options face down is really, really good. I also think the internet has way too much fun with this character because trying to find an image for the thumbnail, let's just say don't Google image search Byakko. It gets weird. It gets weird quick. It gets weird quicker for him than any other character I've had to do a day 0 for. So, just bear in mind, don't do that. Save yourself. I wish I didn't see some of the stuff I saw. But yeah, that's it. We are done with our Dark Tournament Day 0 builds. I hope that you guys enjoyed these videos. I certainly enjoyed building these decks, just as a first thoughts, building off the first thing that came to mind. As I've reviewed them for you guys, I've seen a lot more intricacies that I could build upon for certain characters, and I'm really excited to crack more boxes and start building some of these fun, amazing characters. And I hope that these Day 0 builds, while not the best, I will freely admit, I hope they got your guys' gears turning for some of these characters that either you might not have put much thought towards, or you wanted to play but maybe didn't have a good starting point. These are definitely, the Day 0s are definitely starting point decks. They're springboards. These videos are meant to get your guys' gears turning for fun local play or more competitive play. So if they were able to help you maybe unlock something in your brain and get the gears turning, I've done my job and I'm happy with that. So if they got your gears turning, please feel free to subscribe to the channel. I love all of the support that I've been getting lately. Thank you guys so much. If you enjoyed this video, despite me sounding awful, please like the video. I appreciate it. And let me know down below, what are you planning to do with this big tiger man? Are you going to go whole hog into the Tiger Scream strat? Or are you kind of going to focus on the full flip your opponent's board strat? I'd love to hear what you guys are thinking, and until the next time, I'm probably going to go take a very long nap. I'm a very tired hermit. While I've had fun with these decks, it has been exhausting trying to get 2 videos out a day. I'm insane. I'm obviously not in my right mind. But yeah, I will hopefully be back to my 2 videos a week schedule here in the next week or so. So if you don't see anything from me, I am resting. I am back up on my mountain taking a nap. But until then, I hope you guys have a good time with Dark Tournament. It releases, as of recording, this Friday. So go to your local game store, get some boxes of Dark Tournament, or even just some packs if you can't afford boxes. Not everyone can afford boxes. I've just been saving like a madman. But go support your local game store, play in some release events, have a good time, because that's, above all, what we're here to do. We're here to have fun with this game that we all love. And until next time, guys, take care.